Hello there, and welcome to this meta video. There's been loads of tournaments this weekend. It's quite interesting. We've seen. I've done it again. I've not sorted my chair out before I started. Yeah, there's been quite a lot happen this last weekend. Also, I had my rugby club's end of season drinks and stuff yesterday, so I'm feeling really rough. It's approximately 11 o'clock in the UK at the moment. So anyway, let's talk about the meta. So popularity wise, we've started to see quite a few factions now get over 100 results posted at tournaments, which is excellent news. Some factions like Skaven are still down there, so on and so forth. So vampire counts are increasing in popularity, I think, because of their effectiveness and because of model availability. So yeah, it's pretty good. So then if we look at win percentages, again, it's pretty similar to last week. With Tomb Kings have overtaken Beastmen Brayherds to top up the win percentages. Down at the bottom, Skaven are still a problem. Just to explain the chart, these bars show you the distribution, so the normal distribution of results. So your 53% win or 54% win percentage with Tomb Kings, that's okay. But a normal Tomb King player at a tournament can expect to win between 25 to 80-ish%. So this is like the red bar is your normal range of results. Now, obviously, a 54% win rate doesn't actually happen at tournaments. You either end up with, well, if it's a 3-game tournament, 0, 33, 66, 67, or 100. If it's a 5-game tournament, it's 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. If it's a 6-game tournament, 0, what is it, 17, 33, 50, 67... 83, 100, something like that. So nobody actually ends up with a 50% win rate apart from a 6-game or a 4-game tournament. And we have had a 6-game tournament, so we're going to be talking about that in a second. But yeah, that's your win percentage. So this is why there's a pretty wide range, because essentially you're kind of 30%. So that's one win at a 1-game tournament. That's 2 wins so this is here. So a normal result for a Tomb King player is not to get 0 or 1 wins at a 5-game tournament, for instance. It's also pretty normal for a Tomb King player or a Beastman player to get 4 wins at a 5-game tournament. So that's within the realms of like what a normal player might achieve. So basically, these factions here, Bretonnia to Tomb Kings, I'd argue these are kind of easy mode. So this is like Warhammer Old World on easy mode. This pack here is like standard difficulty, and then probably from arguably Dark Elves downward, this is hard mode. So if you want to play Warhammer on hard mode, this is the factions that you should be looking at. I mean, I do have a better way of working that out. Oh no, actually, statistically, Chaos Dwarves and upwards are easy mode, and Dark Elves and downwards are hard mode. I'll just show you my little spreadsheet here. So this is these sort of show you these are hard mode, that they're easy mode, and yeah. But again, we're starting to see some, this is still worrying. Dark Elves are reliably bad. That's not a good thing. In terms of reliability, but I mean, then again, if you're looking at this standard deviation, really it's like 31 to 29 seems to be a pretty 31 to, there's not a lot of variance there. So all the factions seem to be about as reliable as each other. I mean, but there are some outliers. For instance, Chaos Dwarves, Warriors of Chaos, Dwarves and Chaos Dwarves, Warriors of Chaos, Dwarves and Dark Elves are all pretty reliable in terms of their results. So anyway, let's get back to the nice pretty charts rather than the complicated data behind them. This is the rank percentile. So this is ordered in the same as the win percentage. So this is win percentage at tournaments. Oh yeah, also worryingly, it's now become normal for a Skaven player to win nothing at tournaments. So rank percentile. So this is the same order as win percentage, but you've got stuff like Chaos Dwarves being notably. But so the rank percentile is basically, where you finish up in a tournament, but ordered as like a percentile. So a 50th percentile result would, if you were a player and you got a 50th percentile result, that means you ended up slap bang in the middle of a table of players. So if there's like 11 players at a tournament, you would be 6th because you would be exactly the one in the middle of all of it. So that's a 50th percentile result. The person who comes first is a 100th percentile result, and the person who comes last is a 0 percentile result. So this is your rank percentile. So essentially these factions always, or in general, finish in the top half. But again, I've got the variance there, so it's not guaranteed. There's still a big swing, so this is essentially what the faction's doing, and this is like your normal result. If you've fallen below that, then you're not doing, you're unusual. And if you're above that, then also you're unusual. Again, this kind of looks like easy mode, these four. I'd say, like, in terms of rankings, Chaos Dwarves are probably not easy mode. Yeah, in terms of actual tournament placings, if we go, I need to... tournament placings, actually, High Elves are easy mode in terms of rankings in tournaments. They're just not in terms of win percentage. So High Elves are sort of nearly easy mode, but not quite. But these four are definitely. So Chaos Dwarves are for win percentage. I need to do some way of like expressing what's easy mode and what's not. Like a sort of difficulty setting for based on the faction that you're taking. But Chaos Dwarves, obviously Dwarf and Mountain Holds, despite having a decent win percentage, are still like not doing very well in tournaments. And I've got plenty of evidence that this is fundamentally because Dwarves are really struggling in terms of winning results, winning games convincingly. They can win games. They're not bad at winning games. It's just because they've got a lack of speed, they can't really win games convincingly at the moment. However, we'll see that from the lists of tournaments later on that it may be a list writing issue. It might not, but I think when the dwarf stuff dropped initially, everybody was talking about gyrocopter spam, and that is obviously the answer. It's just people haven't been doing that. So we'll see. I think dwarves come up when that improves, because dwarves need to work on the speed of their armies. But again, down here, we're kind of down in the dumps. So dwarves, actually, they're kind of hard mode in terms of tournaments. So yes, they'll win games, but you don't place very high in tournaments. It's difficult to get a decent placing in tournaments. And then again, dark elves and below are still like hard mode, totally. This chart is what I call the all or nothing. So it compares the percentage of results. So Kingdom of Bretonnia, 10% of entries into tournaments have won 0 games. So if we go back to the popularity chart, where are they? Kingdom, so there's been 115. So what that means is that 11 people, because 10% of 115, actually it's 12, isn't it? So 12 people have maths. 12 people have posted 0 wins, whereas what would that be? 132, 6 or something. So it's probably 13 people have won all their games. So this kind of compares how all or nothing a faction is. What you ideally want to see is it kind of being a bit balanced, but it's not. The factions that win all their games at tournaments, whether these 5, they're unsurprising, Beastmen, Warriors, Bretonia. So this compares how like the extremes of results. So we've talked about what's normal, but what about like the opposite of what's normal? What about the extreme results of either losing all your games or winning all of your games? As you can see, it's much more common to lose all of your games than to win all your games, just in general. Winning all the games at a tournament is hard. Losing all the games at a tournament is actually fairly difficult as well, but not, you can see from the really low numbers here. But it does highlight that, like, Skaven are in a really difficult position because a third of their tournament results is currently resulting in 0 wins. So that's not good at all. Excuse me. Just needed to hydrate with this Vimto Discovery stuff that I've found. So that's essentially an overview of the meta at the moment. It's becoming pretty clear that there are some factions that are definitely struggling. Worryingly, Empire of Man and Dwarves are two of the so-called supported factions. The unsupported factions are, are not that bad. None of them seem to be broken in that there's none of the unsupported factions up here, apart from Chaos Dwarves, who are apparently unsupported, yet their rule set is pretty strong. And as we saw with the meta show last week, there are vampire count lists that do win tournaments that aren't the wailing dirge spam. So yeah, cool. So let's have a look at some tournaments. So that's that bit. If you're just interested in the data and you don't want to look at lists, you can like the video now and go and do something else. We are going to look through a load. So we've had quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tournaments that have been posted over last weekend. The weekend before that there was 1. So that's really interesting. Something about the end of May. In the UK, actually, it's a bank holiday weekend. So today is what we call a national holiday. Nobody knows why there is one at the end of May. Well, there presumably is a reason, but why is there a bank holiday? That's the end of May. Held on the day after Whitsunday or Whitsunday. Right, it's a Christian nonsense thing. Right, okay, cool. I mean, if you're Christian, that's fine. I have no problems with people being religious. Just I don't do religion. It's I think it's all a bit nonsensical. Okay, so this was the Alberta Classic. This took place in Canada. Ogre Den Gaming Club, probably. I promise I'm not gonna. Some people don't like me looking at venues. I find it quite interesting just to get a feel for the area. So that's where everybody was, somewhere around here. Nice big roads in Canada, don't they have? That's quite good. Cool. So anyway, Owen, congrats to Owen, Ozzy and Matt for filling out the podium. Well done. Congrats to Owen and Ozzy for winning all 3 games. Now again, Tomb Kings are doing quite well, so that's not particularly surprising. In fact, I'm not going to do too many lists because there's a lot of tournaments I want to get to. So we've got Ozzy Melosh maybe. He came in second with this list, which has got a Black Orc on a Wyvern, obviously. So he's got his dragon with his trollhide trousers, of course, a necklace of blessed teeth, 2 level 4 wizards, and he spent 900 points on characters. He's got a big old orc mob. That's quite interesting. Only 3 fanatics in the whole list, so that's quite surprising. A couple of goblin bolt throwers like I think you should always have 3 of those if you're going to take any, because they're so cheap for what they do. 3 bolt throwers, that's really good. And then you've got a load of boar boys. Boar boys are like one of the best, I think, units in the orc roster. They're absolutely fantastic, especially in the new Nomad list, because they get impact hits, which is just amazing, and they're really good anyway. So, you know, for their points and what they do, they're really, 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 really good. So, Idol of Mork, Idol of Gorg. That's quite cool. Ruby Ring. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good list. I quite like that. I can see why it won all its games. And then this is the Tomb King list, which has... doesn't have a dragon. He's put his general on a flying carpet, which is pretty cool, so it can fly around, basically, and get out of danger. Lots and lots of wizards. This is probably the monster mash army that I've forgotten the name of. Mortuary Cult. Yeah, big block of skeleton. Presumably he's got so the Necrotect has the Amulet of the Serpent, which gives poisoned attacks to the unit that it's in. So you can have, you know, 65 of these with poisoned attacks, which is just a bit nuts, really. That is pretty horrendous, actually. Yeah. Yeah, the Necrotech gives them like +1 attack and reroll hits in combat, because it gives them hatred everybody with the Necrotech's ability. Not that that's massively useful for a skeleton archer unit, but I guess, you know, loads and loads of attacks that are poisoned, you know, that's a pretty good combo, to be honest. And he's got Ushabti with bows, he's got some Tomb Swarms, he's got scorpions, yeah, and he's got a casket. And some more Ushabti here as well. So, you know, this is a very strong list. This is I like this one. Ushabti are great because they've got strength 6 and they do multiple wounds 2, which is really, really good. So yeah, and they're not terrible in combat either, even when they've got bows. So yeah, well done, Owen. That's a great list. So then. Over in Australia, there were 2 tournaments actually. There was this one at Hoskins Street in sunny Australia. Precisely there. There we go. This is what that looks like. Jolt Games looks like quite a nice little venue, doesn't it? Yeah, it's quite big. What is that? Oh, that's a reflection of that. Right, anyway. So that's Canberra, which is here in the world. Oh, it's rotated funny. Cool. So, what happened in Old Grudges 2? Well, Tim with his Empire list managed to take out the win, so well done to Tim. And Ben and John with factions that we typically see on the podium, but well done, Ben and John. So we can't see the Empire list, which is very annoying. I just remembered that. Anyway, so the Chaos list, which is Ben's, Dave's Hot 2K. But who's Dave? He's got Lord on Manticore with the Mark of Nurgle, 5 at ward save, Favour of the Gods. Dave is hot. Okay, and then he's got a level 2 wizard, which is interesting. So he's saving points on characters to go for knights, warhounds. Okay, Khorne, yes, of course. He's gone for 10 chosen knights with the rampaging banner. And then some chariots and some dragon ogres. So that's interesting that did well, because I've heard reports that a big block of chosen knights is not good. You want apparently like 5 or 6 with the blasted standard, so they don't get shot to bits. But yeah, well done, Ben. This is an interesting list. I'd love to know how that did, like on the table, and maybe. Yeah, anyway, NB monthly, the Old World 1-dayer, 2,000 points. again, also in Australia at 34 Prindyville Drive. I think that's Prindyville Drive rather than Doctor. So it's in here somewhere with an Indian bazaar, motor mechanics, just in case you're, yeah. Again, nice wide streets, don't they have? It's the same in America, isn't it? Nice big wide streets with nice sort of looks. It feels like very spacious. Oh, and there's a farmer's market. How exciting! I do like a good farmer's market. Anyway, well done, Mark, from Team Astartes Bay, who hasn't submitted his bloody list. Britonia coming in second, and then a few Warriors of Chaos, and then some other results down the bottom. So, Warriors of Chaos, Lord, Nurgle, Dragon, Standard, Sorcerer Lord. This is a standard Chaos list. He's gone for some Warriors, he's gone for some Marauders, Khorne, Skirmishers. Okay. He's gone for some Warhounds, which, you know, they're cheap screens, they're good for that. 5 Chosen Knights and 2 bigger units of Chaos Ogres. Wow, that's exciting. Well done, Luke. That's an interesting list. That's not your typical. That's not your typical list. Maiko has gone for a Duke on a Royal Pegasus, Virtue of Heroism, which is Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. He's gone for the Heartwood Lance as well, which I think is a bit of a waste of points, but, you know, it's quite cool. He's gone a Paladin. How's that working then? Because the Virtue of Heroism, that is the right one, isn't it? The Virtue of Heroism is Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. I'm pretty certain, but I will just have a quick shifty. Let's just have a quick look, because I think that's mundane items, mundane weapons only. Where's the bloody virtues? Here they are. Virtue of Heroism, unless using a magical weapon. Yeah. And I think Grail Knights count as having magic attacks anyway, and Dukes are all taking the Grail Veil. Yeah, he's got magic attacks anyway, so I suppose the Heartwood Lance only applies when you charge, so if you're not charging, you're not using it. So I guess the Killing Blow and Monster Slayer kicks in the second round of combat. But here's the Heartwood Lance. Here's the Heartwood Lance. It's basically +1 strength and +1 AP on the charge. So it's like a slightly better version of a lance, but like, you know, 50 points. I mean, if it was 30, you'd definitely take it, but 50, it seems a bit pricey, really. Some magic weapons are very expensive for what they do, I think. I'd like to see a lot of the more useless, like the biting blade, being reduced to 5 or 10 points or whatever. So, you know, and made extremely common, so you could just put them on uni champions. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. So back to the list, and then he's got Paladin with a BSB, Royal Pegasus, Prophetess on a Warhorse. He's got the Falconhorn of Fredemund with the BSB, which makes sense. And then he's got Knights of the Realm. Lots of them. He's got Men-at-Arms, because you have to take a unit, because this is a standard Britonia list. And he's got some Peg Knights, which is sensible, because they are probably the best unit in the Britonia roster. And then he's gone for a sort of traditional block of Grail Knights, just to round it out and provide a bit of threat, because Grail Knights are particularly nasty. Oh, bugger. I just got rid of the wrong one. NB... I don't know which one I got rid of. I am so sorry. NB, was it? Now hold on, I can have a look at my results spreadsheet. CTC, NB monthly, and then it was I Cosari di Lucini. Oh no, I didn't get rid of it, it's there. So this one is interesting because Fabio Lanzotti managed to win the whole tournament despite losing a game. So he ended up with 47 tournament points, whereas Matteo managed 45. So Fabio, despite losing one, managed to do so well with his other two games. So this guy knows how to win convincingly, and luckily his list is here, so we can have a look at that. What I was saying before about dwarves not doing very well. Well, this guy managed to pull something out of his, out of his backside. So what did he do? So this is anyway. So this chap Matteo. So sorry again. Congratulations, Andrea, Matteo, and Fabio for your podium results. Very good. Andrea, we want to go with him first because he came third, and he's got pretty standard stuff for the Bretonian Duke. I'm not sure what the Mantle of Damsel Elena does. I don't think I've immune to poison and just immune to poison. Okay, I mean I think there's a better use for 25 points. If you just need to make 1 point spare, and then you could give him the Ruby Ring of Ruin, which I think would be better. But anyway. The Gromwell Great Helm allows you to reroll ones and save, and it's just a cheap and easy +1 to save, really. And then we've got a proper test on also on a Royal Pegasus, so two flying units, and it's got Knights of the Realm, and Knights Errant and Bowman. Don't you? I thought you had to take. Oh, it's all Peasant Bowman. Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, he's got his Peasant Bowman, he's got some Knights, he's got some Knights Errant for some reason, possibly to save on points because he wanted some. He's got maximised Pegasus Knights and some Grail Knights. So this is a very strong list. I really like this list. This it's quick. He spent as few points as possible on something that you needed one of, and he's gone for stuff that gets around very, very quickly. Yeah, so very, very good. Yeah, but he could have dropped the Musician here and gone for dropped the Mantle and gone for Ruby Ring of Ruin, which would have been even better. But anyway, never mind. He obviously knows more than I do anyway. And then this list came second, Matteo's Vampire counts. So we've got a Mortis Engine, we've got a White Lord and a White King. So we've got Graveguard and Black Knights, which are okay. We've got a coach. I think Matteo's done really well actually, because this isn't a particularly good list, to be honest. It's it's not hitting the usual notes that a vampire count list does hit. So I think he's done really, really well to be successful with this. Particularly just having his general wizard on a Mortis Engine, because like how on earth that didn't just get sniped like as soon as possible. Who did he play against? He beat the chap who won. So well, I don't know how he did that. That's and he beat another dwarf player. So he beat a dwarf player, Fabio, and then Stefano. With wow, he played against 3 dwarf players. He played all the dwarf players in the tournament. I think there's only 3. One. Where's the other one? He can't. One. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Am I being really thick? There's only... What? I don't... How did that... Sorry, have I... Matteo played... Oh, no, I am being really thick. So he played both the dwarf players and then Chaos. How on earth did he manage to beat... What did Stefano take? Ballista? Drake gun things, Trollhammer torpedo delivery systems, organ gun, some ballistas, a gyrocopter. I don't know what Minatori are. Spaccaferro, iron breakers. These are crossbowmen. That'll be handgunners, handgun armed stuff. That'll be dwarf warriors. Yeah, interesting. Okay, anyway. So that's really... yeah, well done, Matteo. Excellent result. And then we've got some nannies or dwarves. Dwarf and mountain holds. Or... yes. So anyway, this is, I think, getting close to the sort of the final form of the Dowie. So you've got 3 rune masters with loads of runes of spell breaking. These are basically dispel scrolls. So the spells that you really need to get off, they just say no. These are old-fashioned dispel scrolls, so they just say no, you're not allowed your spell. This, I think, in terms of like just upgrading units rather than having really super good characters, I think just being able to upgrade it, because the units themselves are where the money is in Dwarves, is not in the characters, although upgrading your characters is really cool. So he's got 2 units of 9 crossbows. He's then got some rangers, which is sensible. He's then got some dwarf warriors, 2 units of them. I'm not entirely sure why or what they're for. But then he's got 3 gyrocopters, 3 cannons, 3 units of Trollhammer torpedo delivery systems, and he's gone for the Cinder Blast bombs too, and then he's got some more rangers. So he's got lots and lots of... So he's basically got 6 cannons. So, I mean, how the hell he lost to that? Because he should have just... Absolutely... He should have just mullered that bloody... the general, like, in 1 turn of shooting. Should have been able to manage that. But I really don't know what happened there. And he's gone for... it's got move and shoot, multiple... Rottura dell'armatura. Rotary cannon or something. What are the options? What are the... Yeah, I keep looking at dwarf lists with interest because I don't really know how to spec out the gyrocopters. So I'd imagine clatter. I'll see opposite. That'll be on that page. Yeah, clattergun seems to be the one that people go for. I think probably because it's got move and shoot, so you know you can march and shoot, so it keeps firing wherever you move it. So yeah, maybe. What? Oh yeah, they are 60. That's 65. Oh, so he's gone for the brimstone gun with 1 gyrocopter and a clatter gun for 2 of them. Cool. So that's a really good list. I like that, and I think this is where dwarves are going to end up. Sadly, it's not going to be ranks and ranks of hammerers, who are great, or ranks and ranks of iron breakers for the foe to dash themselves upon. It's going to be shooting heavy and turning off magic as much as possible. And I think this is Fabio's getting close to the final form for dwarves, I reckon, in my opinion, but whatever. Then I think... No. So then we've got B there and B Square, which took place in South March. There's no address, really. And then 11 4PH. 4PH. Battlefield Hobbies. That seems likely, doesn't it? Is in there. Near Lions Den Fitness. Oh, we can drop the little man to hopefully see Battlefield Hobbies. Is it in there? It should be here somewhere. You see what I mean about like narrow roads? This is like a British industrial estate. This feels very familiar. I don't think it's there, is it? Goodness something. Bet it's one of these, isn't it? Is it? Grand Union. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here anyway. Anyway, the Battlefield Hobbies is somewhere there. On an industrial estate. Anyway, as lots of clubs are, it seems. So, Warwick Tony Hunt Swallow of Durham Raiders managed to win it with Vampire Counts. Callum Edens with Orc and Goblin Tribes came in third, which is quite good because Orcs and Goblins aren't doing very well at the moment as a faction. And Sava B of Team Battlefield. I don't know who Sava B is. Anyway, so we've got Callum. Where was it? Callum. So Callum, he's got a war boss on a wyvern with just a talisman of protection. No trollhide trousers. That's interesting. Obviously, wanted the 40 points elsewhere. He's got some night goblins with fanatics. Just 3 fanatics again. A very modest and gentlemanly level of fanatics. He's got a couple of snotling mobs, which is interesting. They're swarms. They're unbreakable, I guess. I guess you can use them to go up the table and make sure you get your charges off. He's got a Black Orc mob. How many wizards did he have? Just the one level 4. So he's gone really light on characters. He's got some boar boys. He's got a couple of bolt throwers. He's got a boar chariot. He's got a doom diver. Is this... Oh, it's 1,500 points. That would explain why it feels like there's not a lot there. But for 1,500 points... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Cool. Coming in second, Sava B has got aspiring champion Lord on a chariot, which is quite cool. And he's got a level 4 wizard in there as well. So he's got his level 4 wizard, he's got his super tough character, and then he's got a BSB. So he's gone, you know, for all the notes for characters, he's then gone Marauders and Warriors, which is an interesting decision. And he's gone for a spawn and some chosen knights. So, yeah. Not a terrible list. Pretty. I mean, the chaos lists more or less write themselves. Just pick whatever. It's all pretty good. Warwick Hunt has gone for a Mortis. Again, a general on a Mortis engine. Like, you don't want to do that because it makes it a large target. So you can just snipe it. And as soon as the general dies, like... the whole list starts to... He's only got one Terrorgeist. He's got a Corpse Carped with a warped Tintinabulation, which I think is +1 to cast for stuff near it. And he's gone for a Banshee, so he's got 3 Screams for 1,500 points. That's not bad, actually. I think the other 500 points would be another Banshee, another Necromancer, and another Terrorgeist, probably, to round out the list. You typically see, although there are a couple of units of zombies. I don't know why there's a unit of 10 skeletons there. You'd be better off just taking another magic item, really. But yeah, there we go. So that's that. There's that list that Warwick used to win that particular tournament. So well done again to Warwick, Sava, and Callum for your fantastic victories on the podium. Then we get to the final 3-game tournament. There is, actually, just before I go on to that one, there is this tournament, which is a grand tournament, so 5 games that took place, but he hasn't pressed finish, so we can't look at the placings yet. So that one I'll have to remember to come back and find next week. Cool. Dark Elves finishing on a podium. That list is well worth looking at. and Wood Elves winning is again a bit of an event. So well done, Chad, Eric. Oh no, Warhammer the Old World Singles Tourney took place in Ohio, Whipple Avenue, Northwest, somewhere there. Oh, a grill. I do like a nice grill. Oh, it's this place again. Cool. So let's have a look at these lists then. So it's a 1500 again, but Chad managed 2 wizards. Now I'm going to have to remind myself what these magic items do. Apologies for any unnecessary delays. Although actually time-wise, this video is going quite quickly, so I'm doing all right to try and keep it on track for being about an hour. So we've got the Tome of Furion, which is one more spell, so it's like a spell familiar, and the Pendant of Calith. Pendant of Calith is a 5 at ward against strength 4 attacks and a 4 at ward against strength, so it's like a super blessing. So that's pretty good. He's gone for illusion, not sure why, but anyway he has. And Headsman's Axe. What the hell is the Headsman's Axe? That must be like is that a generic one in magic items, magic weapons? Headsman's Axe. Killing blow. Magical attacks requires 2 hands. Oh, I get it. Yeah, so he's gone for illusion to get, or to try and get spectral doppelganger. So if he's in combat with infantry, he can then use the headsman's axe to do 2d6 hits, hoping for some killing blows. Or you can use illusion if he's up against a monster and use the black dragon's talons and get that to be the 2d6 hits attack. So actually, yeah, that's really smart. I like that. 2 dark elf crossbowmen, 2 dark riders, Cold One chariot, Cold One knights. I mean, there's the Ruby Ring of Ruin in the Cold One knights. So that's an interesting use for Cold One knights, to be honest. Because you really want them in combat, like pretty much all the time. I mean, annoyingly, they're not really that good in total. I'll just show you, they're quite expensive. They've got, pretty standard move. They've got, the cold ones themselves have got lots of attacks, but very little AP. The knights, that's a Cold One chariot. Idiot. Cold One knights, here we go. Yeah, so they're very expensive for what they are. The knights, have got, they've got toughness 4, which is good because that's what the Cold One gives them. They've got, like good weapon skill. They've got good strength. They've all got lances. They can go full plate. They've got armoured hide rather than barding. So they're down to a 2-up save. So they're pretty decent in terms of save and toughness and all the rest. But they're just not very good aggressively. They don't, they do cause fear. But actually, now I said they're not very good. Now I've read the rules again. I've decided they probably are quite good. Because if you think that, the best cavalry in the game are arguably Grail Knights or Chosen Knights. I'm not sure which. One of the two. Yeah, Grail Knights have got a better weapon skill than Chosen, same initiative, same number of attacks. Grail Knights only have a 3-up save. They don't get full plate, which is a bit rubbish. Considering they've only got 1 wound, so but again, like this profile against this profile, like I'm not sure which one you'd prefer, because full plate means they're 35, so they're about the same points wise. They haven't got drilled though, these guys, and these guys haven't got drilled either, which is why I think like Chaos Chosen Knights are the best, because they've got drilled and they've got counter charge. I don't think Cold One. Anyway, I'm waffling on about bloody Cold One Knights. Okay, shut up, Dan. Well done, Chad. Eric Vidus. Oh yeah, we've already had a look at that one, but that one managed to managed to do quite well. And then Wood Elves taking a tournament. Well done, George Bokiza. Glade Lord on a stag. It's pretty standard. Mercule's Locus is the one that turns off strength modifiers, both yours and theirs. And then he's also gone for a Spear of Twilight, which I've forgotten what that does. And the Spear of Twilight is not in there because that's the mega killy expensive one. So always wounds on at least a 3+. Yes. I remember now. So this is why he's taken these two items together, because Mercule's Locus is the one that turns off strength characteristic of the bearer, blah 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 blah. So you don't get strength characteristic. However, he's gone for the Spear of Twilight, which doesn't modify strength. It just always wounds on at least a 3-up, and it's got Killing Blow and AP2. So that's a really smart combination, making a really killy Glade Lord. However, light armor and a great stag, he's going to die quite quickly if he gets hit back. Then you got a Branch Wraith, you got Glade Guard, you got some Dryads are good. I like Dryads. And then he's got a couple of units of Scouts. He's got Sister of the Thorn. Yeah, these are there to basically cast lots of Plague of Rust. And then everything else has probably got Hagbane tips. They haven't. There's not a lot of shooting though. Again, he's only got 1,500 points, but there's not a lot of shooting to take advantage of the Sisters of the Thorn, really. So it'll be interesting to see how he. It would be really interesting to see how he plays those sisters in a sort of smaller army. Basically, where is it? Battle Magic. It knows a single spell from Battle Magic or Elementalism. I mean, yeah. So you do have Plague of Rust, but there's lots of cool stuff in Battle Magic that they could do to boost the army. They've got a 4-up ward themselves, so they're pretty tough anyway. But Treekin with a 5-up ward. Oh no, because that ward spell in Battle Magic is range self, isn't it? Interesting. But anyway, well done to George, Eric, and Chad, and commiserations to Abraham for just coming outside. Cool. So then we've got the first 5-game tournament, which took place at 715 Cooper Street in Canada. Right. Curling club and a house and a curling club. Is it? Well, it may have been in the curling club. I don't know. Canadian Tabletop Championship, apparently. That's the CTC. That's what CTC stands for. Right. Anyway, it's a 5-game tournament. We've got Lizardman Eric Chatlois winning, but Cleary Mooney, Brett Gutterson, and Eric Chatlois. Now, Charlotte coming in 4th. Anyway, so Cleary, what did they take? Dragon Priest, apparently. So this is a mortuary cult list. So we've got level 4 on a dragon, level 4 with Ruby Ring of Ruin on foot, Battle Standard Bearer, Mortuary Priest, which is a wizard, but can be a BSB. Got some Tomb Swarms, got some warriors, got some Ushabti with bows. We've got loads of just a bit, a modest amount of Force Archers, some Skeleton Skirmishers, Scorpions, Chariots, Caskets, 2 of them. Blimey. And a Screaming Skulls. There's a lot there, isn't there? Taken lots of little things. That's a proper MSU style undead list. That's very interesting. I'd like to play against that, to be honest. That's quite cool. And then Brett comes in with Vampire Counts, Mortis Engine, 3 Banshees, Uh, oh no, 2 Banshees. A Strigoi Ghoul King with the Ogre Blade. And Dark Acolyte. Again, I've forgotten what Dark Acolyte does. I think that's one of their upgrades, isn't it? Oh, there's no index in this. Dark Acolyte. What's Dark Acolyte? Don't they have like Invocation of Nehek? So, so that'll go. Can that go in the unit of Graveguard, or does it have a restriction on it? Let's just have a quick look together. Does a Strigoi Ghoul King have a restriction? It's got the Hunger. It's a wizard. It's got 3 wounds. It's got toughness 5, strength 5, 5 attacks though. With Ogre Blade, that's really, really nasty. Actually, that is really nasty. But it hasn't got loner, has it? So there's no reason it can't go into a unit, which is crazy. Because that goes. In fact, even just put it in the zombies. It makes the zombies like really super scary, and it. Because it's got Invocation of Nehek, it can start to like boost them from the first turn, and then the Master Necromancer, just horrendous. It's got a Terrorgeist as well, and it's got some Hex Wraiths. Hex Wraiths I think are pretty good, but I don't think they're as good as Blood Knights, obviously, which are arguably the best. There's lots of options for best cavalry in the game, thinking about it, isn't there? So well done, Brett, for coming in second, but well done, Eric, for winning with Lizardman. What's he done? He's got double Carnosaur, a Slann, so he's maximised his characters. He's got a little unit of Saurus. He's got a couple of Skinks, 4 times Skink skirmishers. He's got a Bastiladon and an Ancient Stegodon, so with an Engine of the Gods on. So a bit of everything there. Engine of the Gods isn't that good anymore, I don't think. It's but yeah, I like that character combination. I think that's smart. Carnosaurs are really good. Like they are scary in terms of like killing other characters because the Carnosaur's got 4 attacks, right? It's got Blood Frenzy, so it can get Frenzy, so it charges into something, just does a wound, so the Carnosaur itself has to inflict the wound, but again it's got Stomp attack, so and Strength 7 is very high. The Old Blood has got Toughness 5 anyway, so it's basically Strength 7, Toughness 6, and I think the Old Blood's got 3 wounds, so it's got 7 wounds in total. I'll just check that. Old Blood has 3 wounds, yeah, so it's got 7 wounds in total. So, it's just this Strength 7, AP 3, multiple wounds D3 is nuts, absolutely nuts, and it's got Swift Stride. So, it's absolutely insane. You just got to make sure that you upgrade your Old Bloods so that they're super defensive, and that's what he's done here. He's gone for Talisman of Protection, he's gone for Charmed Shield there, and the Armour of Meteoric Iron there, so really, really good. Don't know what that was. Right. Bastiladons are really good too, so I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of Skink Skirmishers as well. That's a really interesting combo. I think this must be one of those tournaments where you're limited to 6 of one thing in core and then 3 of one thing elsewhere. I think that's what's happening here. Cool. So that's that. So well done to Eric, Brett, and Cleary. Then we have the Alamo Old Hammer Grand Tournament in Texas. It's actually near the Alamo. That's really interesting. It's apparently here. Mad Dog's British Pub. Oh dear. I've been told about British pubs in America, and I've been told they're not. Now, this is an American city which doesn't believe in wide roads. Excellent. This does feel quite British, actually. It's all hemmed in and claustrophobic. Absolutely fantastic. It might be there. That looks like it's being worked on, doesn't it? But it might be in there somewhere. And then the Alamo, I think, is that, is it? No, it's not. That's not the Alamo, is it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yes, it was near the Alamo, and I can't really find it now. Anyway, nobody cares about that. It's just me. Vampires, Warriors of Chaos, and Vampires. So again, well done to Camden, well done to Ilya the Fifth, and well done to Richard Fezenbeck for your excellent results. Dwarf and Mountain Holds coming in fourth. I'll take a quick shufty at that as well. So King, Thane, Anvil, Engineer, Warriors, Rangers, Hammerers, 2 Gyrocopters, 2 Organ Guns. That's a good list. That's okay. But again, you know, Anvil's a waste. You're better off with Thanes with Dispel Scrolls, basically, because they're cheaper and they can move around, and the Anvil can't. So, is the background to that a load of Necrons? Why is it 40k? That's a bit weird. Okay. Or is that just the background for all of Best Coast pairing lists? Have I just... That is a Necron thing, isn't it? Have I never noticed that before? Anyway, so well done to for coming fourth. I can't remember which way round it was. Camden came third, didn't he, Richard? So Camden, well done on your podium. We've got a Strigoi Ghoul King with Ogre Blade and Curse of the Revenant. Curse of the Revenant. What the hell was that? That was one of the... That wasn't the Dark Acolyte thing, was it? It's got Curse of the Revenant. +1 to its wounds characteristic. So it's got an extra wound. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. But again, that can go in a unit, can't it? Of like ghouls or something, and just be a real nightmare to deal with. Then he's got a Mortis Engine mounted Master Necromancer, who isn't the general though, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Then he's got a White Lord with the BSB and the Drakenhof banner. I think that's the second time I've seen the Drakenhof banner. So what does that do? That it improves the armor value of its regen save by 1. So that's really that could be really good. You could get down to like a 4 at regen. I mean, it doesn't help you with combat res, annoyingly, but it does mean that stuff stays alive, which is pretty cool. And Crypt Ghouls, as we saw last week, are great because they've got 2 attacks each and they've got poisoned attacks. And in the chat or in the messages or whatever, whoever took them last time told me he does line hammer with them. So I think he had 44, so he did 2 ranks of 22 just because it gives you, you know, a good sort of, you know, if 5 models charge that, then it's going to be 7 with full attacks. So that's, you know, 15 because you get +1 for the champion, and then you got 15. So it's probably about 30 attacks. You know, with poisoned, that's pretty good. He's got Vargeist, Fellbats, Terrorgeist. Vargeist, lots of Vargeists again. They're also really nasty. They're really, really nasty. Skirmishing monsters with loads of attacks, high strength, high AP. They're absolutely fantastic. They just have no armour. Like, this list is basically unarmoured, but, you know, whatever. He's got a White Lord, so he can take the Black Knights as core. So he's got a little bit of fast cavalry threat there. But Black Knights aren't great. They're okay. They're not the best. And then well done Ilya the Fifth for finishing second with this presumably fairly standard. Oh, he's gone for Ogre Blade. That's the Lord has, and Ilya. She? I don't know. Apologies if I've got your gender wrong. I don't know whether Ilya is. It sounds feminine, but I'm not sure. Sorcerer Lord, level 4 Wizard of Zeech. 2 units of Warhounds, 2 units of Khorne Knights. This is a pretty standard config. I tried that in my tournament. It did okay. Then he's got some Marauders. Then she's got some Marauders. Then they've got some Marauders of Zeech, which is presumably to put the general in. So we've got a little skirmishing. Yeah, I had this idea as well. It's not as good as you think. And then we've got some Chosen Knights, and then the Drag. This is the sensible bit. This bit is where the money is. This bit is going to do a lot of damage, and actually this bit can do a lot of damage too, because Knights of Khorne are really nasty. And then this stuff is pretty much a must-take, really. General on Dragon. So actually, overall, it's a really good list with lots of interesting bits that do quite well. I do think there's a better list out there, but you know, it's pretty good. And then Richard 1. Oh, that was a loud one. Master Necromancer, level 4, Sceptre of de Noiro, which we've seen quite a bit, which I've also forgotten what that does. That's an arcane item. It does... can attempt using Invocation of Nehek twice rather than once. It's 35 points. It's ridiculous. The Tomb King version of that can only do that once per game. This one, though, roll a d6 each time the sceptre is used. On a roll of 1, the bearer loses a single wound. It's like boohoo. He can just heal himself. Like, it's not... that is not a limitation. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, unit of zombies, which is going to go up 4, 8, 10, 12 probably, so they can add 12 to their number, plus that's going to be 40, isn't it? That's going to be 40 in turn 1, which is why I thought you'd see more zombies really with this, because you can, you know, basically turn 1 that goes up to 40, turn 2 if you had 2 units that would be another 40. So basically, in 3 turns, you could have generated 60 zombies. I mean, I know they're not worth much points-wise, but you've just shoved an extra 180 points on the table for nothing. So, you know, not much effort really. So yeah, but that looks like a pretty good list. We are seeing quite a lot of Black Knights. I mean, maybe I need to reconsider them. Maybe they're better than I thought. But you know, I did remember having a look at them and thinking. They're not particularly brilliant, but they've got, I suppose, you know, they're toughness 4, which is pretty good. They've got a 3-up save and toughness 4, so they're, you know, they're tough. They've got regen 6. Has he given them any? He's given them the rampaging banner, which is like reroll charges or something, I think. And it's got cleaving blows, so 6 is to wound, give you no save. I guess for 24 points, actually that's not terrible. And they've got swift stride, so they're not really slow. No, maybe I was wrong about Black Knights. Maybe they are quite good. Right, that was that one. So well done those guys. So then the final one was a Bay Area open old world event, which was in California. Where was it? 1177 Airport Boulevard, which apparently is there, and we are not going to be able to see the venue, I don't think. Oh goodness, it's in there somewhere. The Crown Plaza San Francisco Airport. So it's basically in a hotel, conferencey sort of centre at this nice looking hotel. That's a very sensible place to do a Warhammer tournament. I bet there's lots of facilities and yeah, very good. And this one is the first ever 6-game tournament. So there's 22 players. over 2 days, 3 games a day. That's a lot of effort. So anyway, Chris Addy from Team Lantern 10, Brian Pullen of Tabletop Titans, and Jack Zimmerman of the Sons of Bugman. There's quite a lot of Sons of Bugman here. Won or took out the podium. So well done to those three. And we'll have a look at your lists now, please. Jack won with vampires, so we're seeing vampires winning a lot. Chris Addy came in third with his Tomb Kings. Oh no, look, the background here, that's the thing for the tournament thing. Okay, anyway, he's got 2,000 points of Tomb Kings. He's gone to save money, save points on the characters. He's got this is a mortuary cult list, isn't it? I think. Yeah. So he's got some Tomb Scorpions. He's got 2 caskets, 2 Screaming Skulls. 5. Oh yeah, because that they can take up to 30% rare, can't they? Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be 33% core, but they can take up to 33% rare, I think, or something like that. And the Necro Sphinx, you can take 1 Necro Sphinx in your special slot, so it doesn't take up a rare. So this is going to be really difficult to deal with. Although, you know, that said, some people did. Somebody managed to draw. Miles, so actually Brian Pullen, who finished above him, managed to beat him. But he also got pulled back a bit by Miles O'Neill, who had a Chaos Warrior list. So, yeah, Chaos Warrior against Khemri. Khemri do struggle a bit against Chaos, to be honest. Not massively, but still a little bit. And then Brian Pullen managed to come second at this particular tournament. Brian's double dragons. He's got 2 dragons, presumably. Yep, so he's got an Archmage on a dragon, and he's got a Prince on a dragon, totaling 1,000 points of dragon with other stuff on top. Cool. Yes. And then he's got some Illyrian Reavers. He's got some Archers. Big block of Sea Guard. This is pretty standard. He's got some Swordmasters. White Lions. I think this is the first time I've seen White Lions actually taken. I really like them. And then he's got a Skycutter. Skycutters are pretty good, to be fair. They're pretty useful little chariots. Because they're quick and they can do a lot of damage. So, yeah, they're good. And then the final list that we're going to have a look at is Jack. He managed to win the first ever 6-game tournament with 5 wins. He did still lose one, though. He still lost in round 4. He lost to Brian, interestingly. So Brian managed to beat the other 2 people on the podium, yet himself did not manage to win the event. So Brian will be cursing his inability to squash some people. Maybe it was this. Who did Brian face in the 5th? Ivan Steliakov with High Elves. A dragon, noble, steed. It's interesting. It's not amazing. I think he'll be cursing himself there. Something went wrong there. Loss of concentration. It's so easy to make mistakes, especially after 5 or 6 games of super competitive Warhammer. Right, so Jack managed to win the whole thing. A vampire count level 2, master of the black arts. He's got a level 4 on a Mortis engine again with the Ruby Ring of Ruin. Black Knights, Dire Wolves, quite a few of them. Blood Knights, Vargulf. So how is that any good? Oh. I mean, Black Knights are okay, but... So he's got a dragon. Who's the general? The vampire count? I'm not sure. Law familiar, so he gets to pick his spells, illusion. So he can do. What's this going? Spectral doppelganger with the zombie dragon. I mean, they're okay, but they're not. Master of the Black Arts. That is Master of the Black Arts is. So that makes him a level 3 wizard, doesn't it? Illusion, so he can pick 3 spells. I mean, unless what he's doing is the Raise Dead thing, which is an enchantment, so doing Raise Dead and then boosting that unit up and adding like a few of those every turn, maybe. Van Hel's Dance Macabre's pretty good as well, but it doesn't really help him with. I guess just 2d6 hits with that great weapon would be pretty nasty, because that'd be strength 7 AP 2. I mean, 2d6 strength 7 AP 2 hits is pretty bad. I guess. But yeah, that's a. I guess that's what he's trying to do. But like, there's not like a big horde of zombies, which is what you'd normally expect. He's only got like small units of dire wolves, and dire wolves. I think they've only got. I think I'm right in saying they've only got 1 wound each. I'll just quickly check. No, don't just type dude. Dire wolves. Dire wolves. Yeah, 1 wound each. Toughness 3. No armor. I mean, yeah, they got regen 6, but something looks at them. I suppose you can use them to just get in the way and march block and stuff like that, and making sure, just using them to make sure everything else gets its charge off. And I guess as long as you pick your charge. So, I mean, yeah, Jack, I think, this is not your stereotypically brilliant vampire count list. This is a list that requires a lot of skill to get right. There's a lot of stuff that you've got to get right every single game. You've got to get those charges off if you're going to go for a list like this. You've got to be, super confident about wielding it to get the maximum result every single time. So, brilliant, actually. Well done, Jack. This isn't your typical broken vampire count list. So, but again, actually, we've not seen the broken vampire count list. People aren't taking it. Maybe they don't have the models, but we're not seeing it. So, yeah, it's a really interesting set of results with a really, which is setting up a really interesting meta, and we've got quite a lot of results come in. There have been so far 1,046 players at tournaments over. Essentially, we're getting towards the middle of, so it's basically 3 months. We've seen 1,046 players enter from I don't know how many tournaments actually. Yeah, I don't know how many tournaments we've seen, or that I've got the data for anyway. But it's a good 30 or 40. There's been 15 old grudges, for instance, so far. Squarebase GT. I don't have GT4 actually. Squarebase GT4. In here. I don't know why. And there's only been one first Badger Brawl. There's not been a second Badger Brawl yet, which is very disappointing. But anyway, oh no, I don't want to do that. So the meta's shaping up to be quite interesting. It's a pity about Skaven because I really like them, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and let you get on with your lives, with the video just being about an hour and 15. So I hope you found this useful. If you've liked the video, there is a button for that, and if you've got this far, I'd hope that you'd consider maybe subscribing, and I'll see you again soon. Toodaloo. Oh, I need to press the stop button, don't I?